YouTube frogs, a couple months back, I introduced you guys to an anime-inspired tactical shooter that blew my expectations with what this crossover could achieve. Strinova is now back with another closed beta and is available for free on PC. Make sure to click the link in the description to download the game. If you have an ounce of FPS blood in ya, this game will blow your mind. And don't worry, future releases are planned for console and mobile devices, so you guys won't be left out. This game is available on Steam, where you can add it via wishlist, and also available on their website. For those of you unfamiliar, Strinova is an upcoming third-person shooter, combining elements of Valorant with anime waifus and husbandos in the best way possible. It's a super fast-paced, highly reactionary game that will test your aim, positioning, game sense, and team coordination, and bring out that fiery competitive side of you. You'll have a selection of characters, each coming with 2 unique abilities, several passive abilities, and that each come with a predetermined roster of weapons. So, for example, if I decided to select Kanami, her primary loadout is a sniper rifle with abilities that coordinate around that. While if I choose Ming, she'll be loaded with an assault rifle with more duelist-oriented ability. With the release of CBT2, Strinova has massively improved their new experience trajectory to smooth players out in entering the game. The tutorial and practice range are extremely fluid, with highly detailed feedback for your aim training. Veteran FPS players from other genres will quickly find this game easy to adapt to, while also adding a fresh new experience unlike any other FPS they've played. The most important mechanic that players will be unfamiliar with is what's called the stringification mechanic. For easier remembering, I like to call this paper mode. This is a toggleable mode available at all times that transforms your character into a 2D thin sheet of paper, massively enhancing dodge capabilities, allows you to glide, climb up specific walls, and reload. However, you are unable to shoot in this mode for obvious reasons, so it's primarily used as an escape, defense mechanism, or mid-fight tactical dodge. While it seems incredibly OP at first, remember that this is a core mechanic available to every character. So while you can use it, everyone else can as well. So it's an even playing field with an extra dimension of mastery. Like I mentioned, each character has 2 unique abilities, 1 skill and 1 ult. These abilities can be further enhanced with passive upgrades available during the actual game. This is one of the newer things added with CBT2 that I find pretty amazing because they scale with the upgrades you purchase for your weapon. A quick explanation for that as well. So the upgrade screen is available at the beginning of each round and has gun upgrades, skill upgrades, and defense upgrades. The passive abilities at the bottom of the screen activate when your upgrade conditions are met. So for example, blues are activated with gun upgrades, yellows with skill upgrades, and greens with defense upgrades. The upgrade requirements vary between each character corresponding to the way they play. This adds a nice way to scale your characters as the round progresses, adding unique synergies to team compositions. And don't worry if you want to try out different upgrades. Each upgrade has a refund option that either gives a full refund if you lost the previous round, or half refund if you want. This gives you a little bit of wiggle room to rebalance your upgrades as the game progresses. With these ability upgrades and the paper mode, the skill range of players can be very broad, creating an experience that literally fits for anyone. To give you a little perspective, I was invited to Strinova Super String Invitational to play in a more competitive atmosphere. While my personal skills are not nearly as practiced as other players, I still had some sick moments where I popped off. The experience was incredible, and it really showed me like, holy shit, some of these players are crazy good. Because it's not only an aim check, but it's also a positioning check with paper mode. The first team we played against had really practiced, if not professional, shooter genre players, and it was night and day how decisively they cooked our asses. It made me think to myself, how does the world look like for people with insane FPS skill and razor-focused aim? Maybe another timeline for me, but not this one. Anyways, massive respect to all the competitors, and a big thanks to Strinova for inviting me to experience and showcase to my audience what it's like. I know some of you guys watching are crazy good at FPS genre and probably would love to try your hands on this game and show your competitive edge. In my opinion, I think that this paper mode adds a really complex layer to this game that a lot of people will initially dismiss as overrated and like too complicated, but I think if you try it out, it adds a necessary complexity to an otherwise pretty saturated sphere of FPS games. The characters that I personally tried out during competition and felt the most connection with were actually slower and more supportive characters. So the first character that I tried out and enjoyed quite a bit was Madalena. She's a control character with a debuff ability and a DMR for her weapon. Stronger than an AR, but weaker than an SR, so a little bit more my preference as a long-range control character. Her paint ability is a debuff on the floor that prevents them from paper moding, slows them, and reveals their tracks. Upgrading it sprays a continuous trail of paint all the way to the final target, and she can also paper mode in it and heal over time. For a 5v5, I found her pretty useful as a long-range control that's able to snipe decent damage and provide good utility for the whole team. Her ult is a big bubble version of her paint and also makes them take more damage in the area. Really strong for securing or retaking a bomb site. After Madalena, I kinda switched over my playstyle to pure sniper. The players we were facing in the tournament were so much stronger in fragging in close quarters, so I tried to be a little useful, picking off some targets with sniping. It definitely was more to my liking, and I did secure some nice shots, so who knows? Maybe there was a time I could have been a pretty solid sniper. The two characters that followed this playstyle were Kanami on offense and Kokona on defense. So Kanami has this nice ability where you can enhance your normal shot with your skill and it leaves behind a music note that reveals nearby enemies. Kokona has a single target regen buff on her skill and an instant revive on her ult, making her a very useful support character. Both of these characters, being sniper long range, had utility abilities that gave them hugely valuable utility without needing to be in range of enemies. Overall, even though my team and I did not advance further in the tournament, I think an experience playing against top players really shows what you can achieve in this game. So yeah, Strinova has only improved since the last closed beta, making the new player and veteran player experience just that much better. New maps, new mechanics, new characters are all available for free in the CBT. Be sure to download using my link in the description before CBT2 is over. I genuinely feel like this shooter has huge potential to shake up the industry, especially with its unique paper mode that I think will only be a positive addition to not only playing the game, but watching the game. As always, thank you guys very much for watching. Thanks to Strinova for sponsoring, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.